Tell me if you've ever said this to yourself. Once I'm making more money, then I'll finally be able to breathe. I'll be less stressed. If you have ever said that to yourself, and I think that's probably most of us, this is one of the biggest reasons why you get stuck in your business. Because we actually have it backwards, thinking when I make more money, then I'm internally going to feel okay. The reality is that the internal has to shift before the external results come in. And even if you do grow your business from a place of being stressed out or anxious or fearful or whatever it is, and you're not going to end up with the results that you really truly want. So in this episode, we're going to talk through how to do that, how to shift that internal pattern that you're feeling right now so that the external results follow. And this is the second video in my series on how to double your CEO paycheck. Last week, we talked about how to reclaim your time and break free of the cash flow hamster wheel. And in this episode, we're really going to talk about the internal work that needs to happen, because if you don't do the internal work, you're never going to be able to actually follow through with the things that you identified in last week's video to reclaim your time. Honestly, y'all, the number of times I have heard a client in a one-on-one call say something along the lines of, once I hit 10K, 20K, 50K, 100K, $1 million months, then I'll finally be able to breathe. Once I'm out of this busy season, then I'm finally going to be able to do the things that I want to do. I'm going to be able to take care of myself more, spend more time with my family, do some of the fun projects that I have in my business. Like, I've heard this so many times. And to be frank, like, I say it to myself before I catch myself and snap myself out of it. But what actually happens if you have this mindset of waiting for the external thing to make you feel better on the inside is you either approach everything in your business from this place of stress, fear, anxiety, overwhelm, whatever you're feeling, and nothing ever really gets better. Nothing changes. Or what I've seen also is somehow you're able to make your business grow. You're able to make that income you want to make, but it feels terrible. The overwhelm and the stress just increase drastically with your business growth. Your calendar gets jam-packed. The pressure you put on yourself increases. Your old patterns stay or even get further ingrained. And what happens in either situation is that you end up creating a business that just doesn't feel good and that you don't really see a way out of without just burning it all to the ground. So what if we could feel better now and also grow our businesses in a way that feels aligned and that is sustainable? So it all starts with the internal shifts. And I'm going to walk you through 3 steps that you can identify what is going on internally so that you can begin to shift it. So step number 1 is I want you to work to identify your current limiting belief. So there's a really quick exercise you can do. I've done in a previous video a super quick visualization where you picture the amount of money that you want to have landing in your bank account and doing a body scan to see how you feel about making that kind of money and journaling on that. And so we'll link that episode here. But I have a journaling prompt for you. I want you to ask yourself, what is a goal that you have for your business that you don't 100% believe is possible for you to achieve? And once you identify what that thing is, list out all of the reasons why you don't think it's possible. So let's say right now, my goal is I want to bring on 20 new clients. I want to do that. That's my goal. I know financially that is the number that I want to hit, but internally I don't 100% believe that I can actually do that. And so what are all the reasons why? Maybe it's that I'm just going to make stuff up, right? Some common things that I see people say. Maybe it's that I don't believe people are going to pay me the price that I have for this thing. Maybe I don't believe I'm going to reach the number of people I need to reach. Maybe I don't believe in my sales skills. Maybe I don't think we can deliver to that number of clients. Maybe I just don't think that enough people actually want the thing, right? Or maybe they want something, but they want it less expensive. Like whatever it is, brainstorm. What are all the things that you're telling yourself as to why that is never going to work out? And those are your limiting beliefs. And what I find really interesting when we write this list down and we see our beliefs about what's possible for us, in a weird way, these beliefs we have are actually protecting us. And so you can ask yourself, are these beliefs, number 1, yes, they're holding me back from doing the things that I want to do. But number 2, are these actually protecting me in some way? Like by having a belief that I won't be able to get myself in front of or get my business in front of the number of potential leads that I need to get in front of, am I protecting myself from visibility and judgment online? Or by saying that, I don't believe that I can actually maintain that number of clients, am I protecting myself from potential failure, from potentially letting people down? So you can ask yourself, what am I protecting myself from? And just identifying what that belief is a really great first step to becoming aware of all the ways that this shows up in your day-to-day reality so that you can begin to shift it. Step number 2, once you've identified the belief, is I want you to recognize how that belief pattern is getting you the results that you have right now. Because the reality is, you don't rise up to your revenue goal if your revenue goal is up here, if your current internal beliefs are down here. So if your current beliefs say, I can make 10K months because you're doing that now, but I want to make 100K months, you're never going to get to 100K months if you don't believe that you can do 100K months, because you're not going to follow through with all of the actions that need to happen to get you there if your mindset on the inside is down here. And so to see how your current beliefs impact the results that you're getting now, what you can do is say, okay, with these limiting beliefs, how does this make me feel? Do I feel overwhelmed every time I go to look at my revenue tracker? And if I feel overwhelmed by my revenue tracker, what are the actions that I take when I'm overwhelmed? Or what are the things that I avoid doing? Do I bury myself in work or Netflix or doom scrolling? Do I go do some other things that feel more comfortable to me rather than doing the actions that I need to do to move my business forward? And then, of course, if you do those actions, your result is going to be the current business that you have, your current reality, and not necessarily growth. So it's just really important to recognize how your current beliefs bring you the results that you have now, and to take accountability for those things. So rather than blaming or complaining about these external things that are happening, take responsibility for the things that are within your control. And so in last week's video, I talked about how everything that you're doing, the way that you spend your time, is a choice. Whether you realize it or not, you have a choice to do or not to do literally anything that you do, right? So it's just really important, I think, to take that accountability and say, you know what? I say that my goal is to launch a podcast or to start this new offer, but I'm prioritizing these other things instead of doing the work to do those things. So I'm saying this out loud, but my internal beliefs and my actions don't actually align with that. And how can we take accountability to move ourselves into prioritizing the things that we say are a priority for us? The third thing that I think you want to do kind of builds off of that, and it's where I want you to ask yourself, what would the millionaire or wealthy CEO version of you be doing, thinking, and feeling? So if your goal is, let's say, 100K months, what do you think, if you visualize yourself making that amount of money, how do you show up? What do you do? How do you feel? How do you present yourself? What are the actions that you prioritize? And what beliefs about myself would I have to have gotten to that point? Like, if I am achieving these things, what are the beliefs? What are the things that I know beyond a shadow of a doubt are true? And then what can you do to start embodying that now? Most of us are probably not going to go from having these current limiting beliefs about certain aspects of ourselves or our businesses fully tomorrow into what the wealthy millionaire version, the rich lady version of ourselves thinks and feels and believes. And so what you can ask yourself is, what's a way every single day, what's a really small way that I can start showing up as that person and start building the evidence bank for how I can become that version of myself? So there's this really interesting catch-22, I think, that it took me a long time, such a long time to wrap my head around. When I realized that the goals that I wanted to hit these goals because I wanted to have certain beliefs about myself, because I wanted to achieve certain things and feel a certain way. When I realized that those feelings are actually available to me now, and I don't have to have the external things in order to feel the way that I want to feel. this is what it took me a long time to wrap my head around. If it's true that I can feel confidence, power, joy, happiness, peace, I can feel all those things now without the external things. Why bother chasing the external things? And I think this is where having that long-term vision for the way that you want to be, the way that you want to show up in the world is really helpful. And so maybe the answer to that question is you just want to continue growing rather than staying stagnant. You want to evolve. You know, for me, I like to see, just for fun, I like to just try things just for the heck of it and say, like, what if I do? Like, what if I can play with these things and just have fun with my business on a day-to-day basis? What would that look like and how would that feel? And I like to see also, what are my limits? How far can I go? Again, just for the heck of it, not because I need these external things in order to feel the way I want to feel, but just because I just want to see what is the limit that I can achieve. And I think also anchoring back into the question of what will the money that you make in your business do for you, for your family, for your community? What impact do you want to have? Because I think that that can help you to feel those positive things that you have now and also continue to take steps towards whatever things are going to come for you later on in your life. All right, y'all. So let's summarize. The best way to get unstuck and to start achieving all the things that you want in your business is going to be to start off with the internal work, and the external results are going to follow. You don't have to earn your way into success, abundance, peace, joy, happiness. You can have all of those things without the external stuff, but the external stuff will and can follow from making the internal changes. So if your goal is to double your income, you need to figure out how to regulate your nervous system and start embodying that future wealthy, successful version of yourself. So if you would love to double your pay from your business without burning yourself out in the process, you definitely need to join the Profit Plan Challenge at trustyoungco.com/challenge. In the challenge, you're going to get 5 days of focused training, coaching support, and community to help you revamp your business strategy and figure out the next steps that you need to take in order to grow your business, your profits, and your pay. And in there, you're also going to get the opportunity to do some of the mindset work, to get some coaching on how you can make those internal changes in order to get the external results that you want. All right, y'all. So that is it for this week. Go sign up for the challenge, and I'll see you back next time.